going to talk about the init function in classes for Python. So you remember from my previous example, I gave an example of Instagram, how Instagram works, right? I said Instagram, let's say you could say it has different classes, right? This could be a class. This is your messages class. Basically, what are its properties? Well, its properties are messages, the number of messages you have, the number of people who have contacted you or something like that, you know. Yeah, and then you have your profile class. This has, let's say, your followers or stuff, something like that. How many followers you have, how many pictures you have, how many people have tagged you and all those things. You have your notification, which shows you, how many numbers of people have done something like your activity. If someone followed you, or someone liked your pictures or something like that, it notifies you, right? And I gave an example of just how this would look like in Python, right? I wrote it down here. I said this is my account. I could say that my this class is my account, right? My account has inbox, it has followers and it has newsfeed, right? I mean, this could be different classes, like inbox would be different class, but let's just say this is just specifically my account. You can have different accounts, different classes for different people's accounts, right? Yeah, so let's say this is the class of my account. We have inbox, we have followers. So now if I want to basically, check how many followers I have, right? I can just say my account, dot followers, and the computer will know. Let me get this so I see how much time I'm spending. The computer will know that I'm talking about, you know, followers within this class, right? So now what if, let's say, I get a new message, right? How can I update this information right here? How can I update it in such a way that when I want to check how many messages I have, you know, how can I then see the new updated number or something like that? Or let's say, even better still, let's say I get a follow, I follow someone and I want to see their information, right? How can I adapt this without having to write, a specific class for every single person, right? Every single person I follow, instead of having to write a specific class for them, right? So yeah, I'm gonna basically introduce you to the init function. So you remember here that this account class takes an argument, right? But yet there's no brackets for you to put arguments here, right? That's where the init function comes in. So let me just move all these things and put this. So I'm going to explain this in detail. So you see that this is the init function, right? So we have class, this is my account, right? Or a person's account, basically. You have to put this init function if you want to write in parameters and write in information, right? So this word, it's not exactly like a keyword as these orange or brown words are, but basically whenever you put this, when you run this and you put things like, you call this class and you put in parameters, right? I'll explain these things in detail. The computer or Python knows that you're referring to this thing is automatically run. You don't even have to you have to specify it. How this thing is, the quotation for it is basically, this is a two underscores. You put in two underscores, you write init and two underscores, and then the first thing you have to do, right? Remember from my previous lessons I talked about how you can have different parameters for different classes. The first thing you have to do is to put self or any other word or something like that, like a useless, not a useless, but just put something here that is not within the parameters that you want to use. Now I'm going to explain this later. You see later how this feeds in. So now for this specifically account, when I follow someone, I want to see their name, I want to see how many followers they have, and I want to see their news feed, like how many pictures they've uploaded in the past day or something like that, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say self, right, dot name is equal to name. Now it doesn't matter if, I mean for me at least, it doesn't really matter if you don't understand this. Just know that whenever you're writing a Python init function, basically, I'll still explain it after this, but you have to write this. This could even be something. This could be house, or this could be account, or this could be person or something like that. It doesn't have to be self, right? But then you write it here, dot this, and then you assign it the value this. Then you write self again, dot followers, then you assign it followers, and then you write self dot newsfeed, then you assign it newsfeed, right? And then, now when I followed someone, let's say I have follower 1, I followed a new person. When I want to basically put in that person to my account details, like my personal account, I'll just write my account, I don't have to put any parameters or details for this self or this thing here, right? I just have to now put in the information. So their name is Thomas, they have 10 followers and they have newsfeed. Now in order to check followers is Thomas's followers, right? I just have to I just print follow on dot followers. Now let me basically explain this as how the computer will read this, right? How will the computer read this? Let me run this. Okay, I've cleared all. Let me run this function. Okay, let me change this because I already ran it. This person has 50 followers, right? And then I run this, right? Yeah, 50 followers. What does this mean? So basically, let's just say I'm the computer, I'm the Python computer. I'll see that, hey, this person uh has basically declared a class, right? He's coded my account. Let's say I'm the Instagram computer, right? I'm the Instagram computer. He's coded my account, right? And then he has defined this very special function here that I am always on the lookout for because I always run this function regardless, right? This function, right? So now whenever this person calls this my account, whenever they call this my account class, right? My account class, my account, sorry for the slow thing, my account, okay, my account, I know that whatever information they pass in here in this arguments will have to correspond to the first, not the first, but apart from whatever they put here, these whatever follows after these, whatever follows after this. So, for example, if this, let's say, was just name, right? I know that whatever information they put in here will go in this specific order, right? So, very important to remember that this is taken within this order, right? So, let me clear that. So, if I put Thomas here, this thing will read this as Thomas would be as followers. So this is taken within the specific orders. Now you're probably wondering that what is self? Why am I putting self? So, to really appreciate self, right? Self basically means this in this self instance. So, for example, if for example I have another follower, I say follower 2 and I say my account, let's say this guy's name would be Andrew, right? And let's say he has 30 followers and he has 8 pictures or something like that, right? If I say follower 2 here and I want to see his name, right? It'll give me Andrew, right? So what that means basically is that when the computer is reading this, right? When you're saying, my account, it'll know that okay, he's calling this class. He's saying self. Self means in this particular instance of this, right? This is a particular instance because this is another instance, right? This is another instance of class. I hope that makes sense. This is another instance. I don't know if you use Windows laptop or not, but you notice that sometimes your Windows computer will say that hey, it cannot run this instance, right? Sometimes you can open like Chrome like three different, for example, I have like three different tabs, no, like a lot of different tabs of Chrome, right? But then you notice that these are different instances of Chrome, right? With different. I hope that doesn't. I hope that makes sense and that doesn't confuse, right? But basically, this is just a different instance of this same class, right? I'm using it for a different situation, right? So that's what self means, right? So when you say self, right, it basically means self. You always have to write this. It doesn't have to be specifically self. It could be anything, but self, meaning that hey, in this particular instance, right? This self, this instance, the name dot this will be equal to the name here. This self, this instance dot the followers here will be equal to followers here, and this instance self dot the newsfeed will be equal to newsfeed. So basically, yeah, that's basically what it means, right? Basically what it means. Always remember to, when you want to put in parameters and all that stuff, remember to basically, put in this init two underscores, and remember to always put this thing first, and also remember that the order basically matters. Like when you're calling the function, just remember to put in the right order. But yeah, basically that.